To Queensland now, where the new Premier, Crisafulli, has decided to go full dictator. Here he is today giving his maiden speech. Most of it was spent, of course, jibing Miles, the outgoing Premier, which is well-deserved, and why wouldn't he? But then he turned dictator on us and decided to take this opportunity to tell everyone that he was banning from Parliament for the length of his premiership any discussion on the hot topic of abortion.
This House orders that A, no bill or amendment seeking to amend the Termination of Pregnancy Act 2018 is allowed to be introduced. B, no motion or amendment seeking to have this House express its views on the Termination of Pregnancy Act 2018 is allowed to be moved. And 2, the Speaker is to rule out of order any bill, motion or amendment that offends the order in 1. This motion today ends the disgraceful campaign. Queenslanders said no to a US-style scare campaign. Queenslanders said no to politicising a sensitive issue, and Queenslanders said no to the re-election of a very bad Labor government.
What is this dictator BS? You're literally gagging your own parliament on day one? You, a Liberal Premier, my goodness, are you kidding me? Now, this is a really important issue, that much is true, but many people, pro-livers, even in that man's own government, have been waiting for an LNP government to get in Queensland so that they could overturn the abhorrent law that was changed back in 2018 by the then Health Minister, Stephen Miles, which made it far easier to get late-term abortions in Queensland. Now, he said at the time when he changed the law that this wouldn't mean there was more late-term abortions in Queensland, but he was wrong. In 2018, there were 152 children killed through late-term abortion. In 2021, this is Queensland's own raw data, by the way. In 2021, in the space of just 3 years, that number had doubled to 304 babies killed after viability, so their lives are fully viable. This is late term, and up until birth. We don't have the data from the most recent years because they've stopped publishing it. But we do know that 42 babies within the last year were born alive post an abortion procedure, afforded no medical attention, which would have enabled them to die in some comfort. Instead, they're left alone in cupboards and other places to simply draw their last breath. How is this issue, firstly, not worth talking about? Oh, we just want to leave it there because all I care about now that I'm in power is keeping in power. But secondly, this is a freedom of speech issue if ever there was one. You don't get to become Premier and then bring out a grocery list of issues that, because they're too hot to trot and all you care about is popularity right now, your entire parliament can't touch for the duration of your rule and reign. Who the hell is this?
It's anti-freedom of speech. It's anti-democracy. But I got to say, in order to make sure that there's no conscience vote, he ensures that the consciences of his MPs are never bothered. That's right. He even forbade anyone asking the views of people on abortion. And watching that clip, and I know Fiona Simpson, she's a lovely lady. I really like her. But I know that she would have certain views on abortion, and I see she's the Women's Minister sitting behind Crisafulli. As he said, for the next 4 years, this will not be a topic of discussion. And, you know, he says people want to politicise a sensitive issue. Well, I'm not sure talking about abortion is politicising it. It is sensitive, but we expect our politicians to talk about important issues. We expect them to talk about it in a mature fashion. We expect them to have...
Where have you been living?
We expect... We keep getting promised adults. And Queensland elect a Conservative government. They're hoping that they're going to get some adults finally.
They just make laws about it and then tell everyone to shut up.
For them, they'd be letting people talk about it.
Everybody on both sides.
No, I think he's just shut down something he knows is a Pandora's box and that would, in all likelihood, destroy his government and put Stephen Miles back in the premiership. So that's what he would have his eye on. And yes, political parties do want to stay in power.
If there was ever a ditch worth dying in, it is this one. For shame, Crisafulli and Fiona, whatever her name is, Minister for Women, please.